were indicating they might have been gassed, but boy, they got right back at it energy-wise.
Yeah, I don't think you have any fatigue. There's a championship at stake. Nolan is now going to check out. I asked how quickly Brima would come in. Well, Nolan helped his cause getting those 2 quick fouls.
So Nolan has to go to the bench, the senior from Milwaukee, out of it very quickly. Well, Memphis, a very, very deep team, even without Avery Woodson, their best three-point man, who jammed his shoulder a couple of nights ago. Up top for Lawson, the 6'9" freshman, much too strong, but he can hit that shot.
One thing you have to be careful of if you're Daniel Hamilton, don't settle for threes early. Your shooting percentages are going up, but you're at your best at the free throw line. Put it on the deck, use your size and handle to get close range shots. Memphis, though, is going to try to make him see bodies on every touch.
Gibbs on the drive, back for Hamilton. Shot clock down to 7. Purvis too strong. He's missed his first couple, and a foul in the lane. And he'll get Ricky Tarrant of Memphis for that personal. So UConn still looking for their first points.
Crowd still standing. A heavy UConn crowd.
Yes.
Having to wait until they get their first bucket.
Sean Miller coming up 19 points and 7 rebounds against Temple. Gibbs straight on and knocks in a 3. And now they can take their seats.
Yeah, this is what Sterling Gibbs is known for.
Tarrant quickly into the offensive end. Memphis will not wait around. Crawford back for the point guard. Lawson, he can operate in close like this and outside, and he'll draw the foul, and it almost went in. And he'll be at the line to shoot.
He's a difficult check, especially if you guard him with a smaller body. At his size and his power, 6'9", 218 pounds, that's a difficult check for Rodney Purvis.
Foul will go against Sean Miller. That'll be his first. Just about 3 minutes in, tied at 3. Lawson, good foul shooter generally. And against Tulane, not only 17 points and 9 rebounds, but 5 assists as well. American Conference Rookie of the Year.
He's a pro. This guy has all the skills. He made a couple of moves yesterday that were just eye-popping.
UConn is yet to attempt a 2-point shot. 1 for 4 from 3-point land. Gibbs, shot clock is down to 1. He has to heave a 3. So now they're 1 for 5.
If you string together Memphis's last 3 weeks or so, the defense that had been so good to start the year is back.
Tarrant lost it, but right to Lawson. He can't hook it in, though. Hamilton comes away with it, and here it comes. A hard charge, trying to get around Goodwin. Hands up for Brima, and he knows what to do with it.
What a playmaker. And Hamilton is a willing passer, a terrific passer, unselfish.
A very smart move cutting around the back of Goodwin, and misfires in close, and Brima's right there.
It's going to be really difficult for Shaq Goodwin to score over Brima. He's a terrific shot blocker.
And Hamilton will draw the foul. So he is proving to be a lot to handle for Memphis.
Now, transition. Both teams want to get out and run. If you can play off misses and get yourself into a numbered situation, or not, if you've got the playmaking skills of Daniel Hamilton. How about that crossover? Leave off for Amita Brima. That is beautiful.
So we'll keep it right here with UConn in front 5-4. Give you a look at how the Huskies got to this point with a record of 23-10. A win over Cincinnati, they're still talking about that. They will for a long time, especially in Source, Connecticut. 104-97, an amazing game. The semifinal, well, they rolled right by Temple, 77-62. That has put Temple's chances of the NCAA tournament in very serious jeopardy.
Well, I was interested to watch the guys on College Game Day talking about the last teams that are available. So you're talking about South Carolina, Vandy, and Temple. And all of our guys back in the studio, because of the number of wins Temple has against the field, they feel very good about Temple's chances. If you're Fran Dunphy, listen, you thought you were in a year ago, we did as well, until that comes up on the board, you're a little bit uncomfortable, that's for sure.
Now, how about Memphis at 19-14, but they did go 8-10 inside the American Conference. They cruised to an easy win over the 10 seed Tulane last night in the semifinal, and really they have not been tested so far in this tournament. So UConn with a 5-4 lead here and in the timeout. Brad, thank you very much. You're watching the American Championship on ESPN. It's Memphis and UConn. UConn coming in as the 5 seed. Memphis, the number 6 seed. It's been a very good tournament for the lower seeds. And one of them is going to get that automatic bid, the last remaining automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Dave O'Brien alongside Doris Burke. Great to have you with us. UConn, just in case you didn't hear about it, played maybe the greatest game in college basketball all season long a couple of days ago here. 4 overtimes against Cincinnati, and yet came back and they won strong in the semifinals. And now tangling with a Memphis team that loves to run. As you look at Joe Lunardi, Joey brackets, obviously the winner gets the automatic bid. That's the only way Memphis gets into the tournament, and he has UConn in the field, win or lose today.
Right, plenty at stake for Memphis, obviously. Both of these teams come in playing maybe their best defense of the season. Combined shooting through the first few minutes of this basketball game, 3 for 11.
And a lot of three-pointers for UConn. They're settling for threes. The man at the line is certainly the leader for the Huskies, the sophomore from Los Angeles, Daniel Hamilton, who had that great game in the 4 overtime, Jim. 32 points, 12 rebounds, and played 55 minutes.
How about he's averaging over 44 minutes for the tournament?
Yeah, that's all, just 44.
And showing no signs of slowing down. And now Temple goes into a zone of their own. UConn goes into a zone of their own.
Martin running the point. Memphis has a big freshman who's as talented as anybody around. Burrell with a miss from way downtown. That's Diedrich Lawson, who's coming off a couple of terrific games in this tournament. He's 6'9" and a Memphis kid. Let's see how UConn offensively looks to get into the basket here, because they've attempted 5 3-point shots. Not a 2-pointer yet. Gibbs. Back out for Hamilton beyond the 3. Launching, and that didn't touch anything.
Have to be impressed with Memphis's defense thus far. They're shrinking the floor, still managing to apply some ball pressure, be there on the catch on the particular guys they want to match up with. But a really good start defensively for Memphis.
I should say the Brima dunk was rather definitive. Outstanding play inside, and 2 quick ones there for Lawson, who is such a load underneath.
It's just so good. It makes the game look easy, Diedrich Lawson. Inside-out abilities.
Right back out for Hamilton. Drawing a lot of attention there. Adams with the jumper. He sticks it.
Well, this guy is crucial today, because with the level of defense Memphis is playing, you need a guy who can create his own opportunities in a pick and roll, and that's Jalen Adams.
Goodwin commanding the ball up over Brima, but too strong, and Brima tips it to himself.
He just changes so many shots. You know, a normal trajectory with Amita Brima around is not going to get it done.
And a trip as Gibbs goes tumbling down. Man out of Seton Hall. Back to Adams moments ago. Slick jump shot.
Well, if there's a hero besides Daniel Hamilton to advancing to this championship game, it's this young man. And look at that ability to create his own. The form is pretty. He, too, is growing up before Husky fans' eyes.
Now the man who hit the shot, at least for this year, for UConn guard. They have so many. It was that 62-footer right before the buzzer that ended the 3rd overtime against Cincinnati. And speaking of big shots, Mr. Allen, who's done it before.
And his mom with him, accompanying him. You love to see the Huskies show up in force, and boy, have they. There's some great players in the house.
How about the team you could gather together just of UConn alum in the building?
Be a pretty good pickup game.
Facey in close. He'll knock down 2. The 6'10" junior from Jamaica. And UConn starting to get some momentum going.
Yeah, and Facey has now drawn the assignment on Diedrich Lawson. Let's see how he handles it.
Calhoun getting ready to check in now for Kevin Ollie. Tough feed there. Burrell with a spin in the lane. Can't finish it though. And Facey picks the rebound. Adams, a very confident young man. He had 22 in the victory over Cincinnati, along with 8 rebounds, and he came back with 11 points and 8 assists in the semifinal against Temple. Trying to operate here. Long jumper from the corner, knocked in by Purvis.
So you see the difference with Adams? A little bit more of a playmaker than Sterling Gibbs.
Martin, pressure. Adams trying to save it, but he's on the line, but he made a tremendous block.
Jalen Adams, the outstanding freshman, going to basically try to use a flat ball screen, has to do a little bit of individual work, and again, call me, because I'm pretty good at this game.
12:51 to go here in the first half. Purvis averaging 11 points per game and hitting 44% from 3. Lawson trying to cut in. Too strong. Facey with another rebound.
And a terrific individual defensive effort by Facey. Your job is to make Dedrick Lawson score over the top of you, and that's what Facey does. And how about this guy's stuff? Pretty good.
Well, good enough that Josh Pastner needs a timeout. Facey doing it on both ends. That's a 12-2 run.
Wow.
Kenton Facey, the 6'10 junior, rebounding and feeling free enough to fire up a pretty looking jump shot.
6'9" junior. I'd say the one challenge for him has been keeping his confident consistency. And I'll tell you, you make a couple jumpers and your confidence goes way up.
This is already the biggest deficit, and adding to that is Purvis with a jumper that Memphis has faced in this tournament, and UConn is rolling early. They are on fire. An 11-0 run. Tarrant trying to get in the lane, lost the handle on it, but right back to his teammate Marshall. Well, the Tigers looking pretty disjointed right now offensively.
Largest deficit in this tournament for Memphis.
Tarrant airmails it. 11:48 to go, and the Huskies here in the first half looking like they want a championship. Well, here at the American, it's UConn with a 17-6 lead over the Memphis Tigers. Go back to Jalen Adams in the quarterfinals, and what a game this freshman from Roxbury, Massachusetts had. And the 22 points, made huge shots, none bigger, of course, than with 0.8 of a second left at the end of the third overtime.
My favorite part of this shot is he actually waved off their star, Daniel Hamilton, said, "You take it out, I'm giving us the look." A lot of conversation about whether or not that shot was good, whether or not he traveled. Nonetheless, they find themselves in the championship game.
So 4 overtimes, and they come back looking very fresh, amazingly, in the semifinal against Temple. They roll to a 77-62 win. Hamilton, we've talked about the minutes that he has racked up. Joe Lunardi has them right now in the tournament.
And they are not slowing down through the first part of this game, Dave. They are now shooting 58%, 7 of 12, and holding Memphis to just 2 for 13. So the Connecticut Huskies dominating the boards in both ends.
Adams with it now. UConn has made their last 5 shots. Memphis has missed their last 6. Shot clock down to 10. The freshman now at 5. The jump shot now tipped to Lawson. Burrell trying to take the lane. That's a tough angle shot. He can't get it to go. Calhoun to the baseline, and a foul as Lawson went for the swat and commits the personal. Well, tonight, following at Sports Center, we'll have in-depth coverage of the NCAA men's field of 68. Reese, Jay Will, Jay, Bill, and Seth, thank you to coverage. Dickie V, Joe Lunardi on hand as well. And at 7, bracketology presented by Staples. Break down the brackets.
Well, congratulations to Phil Martelli and his team winning the A-10 championship. Remember, the deepest run he made was with Jameer Nelson at the point guard spot, went into the tournament undefeated. And I saw DeAndre Bembry at a tournament back at Mohegan Sun in the early part of the year. What a talented young man he is.
Calhoun making the second end. He's an 84% foul shooter. UConn an excellent foul shooting team, 78%, among the very best in the country. And they open up an 18-6 lead here in Orlando over Memphis. Remember now, Memphis desperate for the win. They do not go to the NCAA tournament without it. And a whistle before the Shaq Goodwin shot. A shove in the lane. That'll go against Enoch, the big freshman.
Well, and there is Josh Pastner for the third consecutive day wearing the exact same jacket, tie, and shirt combination. And I have been told that the hotel has an excellent dry cleaning service, in case you're worried.
I was a little concerned. It's the exact same ensemble. He's changed it up a bit, maybe with an undershirt. There's Lawson, takes the bump, and it won't spin in, but he'll be at the line. 6'9" freshman to shoot.
So an interesting lineup. Enoch comes into the basketball game. We have not seen a ton of him. Daniel Hamilton getting a brief respite, and this is going to be a quick look at this particular unit, because here come Sean Miller, Amita Brima, and Daniel Hamilton getting set to check back in. And it's smart, right? You played the 4 overtimes. You're playing 3 and 3. You're just trying to steal minutes. And this is Kevin Ollie. We talk all the time about Kevin Ollie's history as a pro, grinding out over a decade in the pro as a role guy. So what does he do? He seeks out matchups relentlessly on the offensive end and then just sort of managing minutes, right? Steal them where you can get them.
There's a new shift coming in over the boards. So 10.5 minutes to go here in the first half, and UConn in good shape, leading 18-7. And so far, not a whole lot of rhythm to the Memphis attack. Hamilton beyond the 3. Hamilton into the paint, and a whistle. The shot almost went in. Foul before that on Burrell.
Not Burrell. That is tough, competitive, put a lot of ball pressure on, and he's going to check out. Crawford will come back in to draw the assignment. They'll throw multiple bodies. But Hamilton hasn't proven a consistent range shooter. So why not give him a cushion, give yourself a little advantage, preventing the drive?
Purvis wants the 3. Well short. Crawford just into the game, snaring the rebound. Memphis playing without Avery Woodson, who is their best 3-point man. He's 44%. He's one of the very best in the league here in the American Conference after taking a shot on the shoulder the other night. Goodwin wants that lane. Brima got a piece of it.
That's a huge miss. He's made 77 threes, Woodson. So make no mistake, that is a big miss for this Memphis Tiger team.
Miller on the block, drawing that double team. Needs some help to get out of it. What a move! He stepped right through it.
Yeah, this guy, he loves playing through contact. He almost seems more comfortable, Sean Miller, when there's bodies on or around him.
Good one again, but a foul there. Brima body to body on him. And that'll be his first.
One of 2 graduate transfers helping the Connecticut Huskies to an NCAA tournament. How about this for recognition? Nicely done. Good step through. Memphis has got to find some options on the offensive end. Boy, it's been a grind.
They've missed 9 straight. That's an offensive foul.
Now the defense continues to be outstanding. How about this for rotation from your big Sean Miller, who was checking Dedrick Lawson. And that's 3 on Ricky Terrence. And now problems starting to mount. Josh Pastner is trying to have a conversation with Joe DeRosa.
And not a pleasant one. UConn with a 20-7 lead. These Huskies never get tired.
I think that if they did, Kevin would will them to win anyway.
Yeah, we've seen them practice. Brima mishandles that. 8 seconds on the shot clock, tipped out of play by Memphis. And so UConn will have to hustle here. Hamilton looking to get it in, bouncing for Gibbs. 5 to get off a shot. His fall away. Lots of iron. Lawson collecting the rebound. Memphis held to just 7 points to this point. They are stone cold. He bowls his way through, and there's some offense for you.
How good is that guy? Able to have the confidence in his handle to attack the crowd in the paint.
And Memphis hasn't even hit double figures yet. And a lot of that, as you pointed out throughout this tournament, is UConn's interior defense. It's just brutal to get a good shot against, and Hamilton too strong with that one. Especially in the paint against these Huskies. The crossover by Lawson and two.
Stop that. How good is that move by Dedrick Lawson? And Kevin Ollie's going to get a timeout. Oh.
You're talking about 6'9" with that kind of handle. Mike Oresco, the American Conference Commissioner, will be joining us to talk about these bids in just a moment. Back in Orlando on a beautiful day, and Memphis starting to click a little bit offensively. They've cut into the UConn lead now 20-11 as we take a look at our Tournament Challenge resume, brought to you by Acura. Now, inside the American Conference, UConn, according to Joe Lunardi, they're in. Win or lose today, Cincinnati would be an 11 seed, Temple among the last 4 in. But the commissioner is joining us on hand here this afternoon to talk about the American Conference. And Mike, great to be with you. I got to ask you about the 3 bids and how you feel right now about Joe Lunardi's prediction. Do you think that's pretty accurate?
Well, I certainly hope he's right, Dave. And thank you, you and Doris, for having me. I hope he's right. I think it may be. I think we have deserving teams. I think that the UConn-Cincinnati game really crystallized how competitive our conference is. That was a great advertisement for the conference. I was very proud of the way they played. Temple's had a great season. They won our league title. I think winning the regular season in our league should mean something, and I hope Joe is right. Joe's pretty astute. He's usually on the mark.
He really is.
He doesn't miss many. You're obviously such a young conference, just 3 years in. How would you feel in terms of your branding and your positioning moving forward, just from a broader context standpoint?
Well, you know, Doris, we started off and won the national championship and had 5 teams, as you know, in the top 25 most of the year. And we didn't get SMU in 2 years ago. We thought they should have been in. Last year, we thought Temple had a great resume.
So did we. Yeah, we left Hartford, Commish, thinking they were in.
Yeah, and that's why we have to be careful, and we're cautiously optimistic. But I think our league is just going to get better and better. The lower tier needed to get better, and they have improved their RPIs this year. As you see, we're very competitive, and we play very tough schedules. We challenge ourselves, just as we did in football.
The Temple of the teams that talking about the bubble had more wins against the field when you look at what they did in conference, so you make a great point.
Yeah, that was important because that was the flaw last year that the committee cited, and this year they beat our top teams and had a terrific season.
Adams able to knock down the mid-range jumper. Give us another 4 overtimes today, Mike, if you don't mind. I mean, that was the best college basketball game all season long.
You know, Dave, I think that may have been one of the great games of all time. And I've never seen anything quite like the .8 sequence when you had, obviously, the 3, the kick out, the 3, and then, of course, this shot. I've never seen anything quite like it. I don't think anybody has. I don't think the committee would appreciate 4 overtimes today.
No, that's a good point.
They go about their work.
That's right. They got to get to work. Mike, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you,
we've had
Dave.
a great time at Orlando. It's been a wonderful tournament.
Thank you, Dave. And I want to compliment UConn and Memphis. I think it's been a nice run by Memphis as well as the Huskies. And may the best team win today. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Doris. Really appreciate what you do for us.
Our
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it very much. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. And, of course, for Memphis, they have to win to get in. UConn looking pretty good right now, and on top of this one, 24-11. Lawson in close, deflected by Brima, but a foul on that play.
Well, you can see Brima's impact, though. As you see transition opportunities here for Connecticut. A nice job, a nice finger roll. Adams again making plays for his teammates. But Brima's impact, he misses those 11 games for the Huskies. He had that middle finger on his right hand that had to heal after breaking it in practice. He changes the team. I mean, his ability to contest, protect the paint.
Lawson at 22-12 in the victory over Tulsa. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists in the victory last night against Tulane in the semifinal. And has 10 points here this afternoon. So much goes through him for Memphis.
Well, he, like Daniel Hamilton, is not a black hole. He's a willing passer, understands how to play with people.
Facey up to set the screen. Hamilton. Here's Adams. Brima with a touch on Lawson. Backing down close, and that's an offensive foul. They'll get Amita Brima for the personal. His second.
Well, you are not, as an offensive player, allowed to displace any more than the defender is. And it's an easy, terrific call. And made with great panache and emphasis by Mike Stevens.
Yes. Joe DeRosa, Ray Natilli also on hand. Very, very good crew here for this championship game. So there goes Brima to the bench.
Yeah, now Enoch comes back in. Obviously not the shot blocker that Brima is. Let's see, can Memphis take advantage of this? This is one of the highest scoring teams in the paint. I get that they get some of that off their guard play. But can Shaq and Lawson do some work now? And Connecticut goes zone.
Back downstairs for Burrell, who's been in a little bit of foul trouble. Hot potato here. Scooped up by Hamilton. And a reach in and a foul on Goodwin. Almost had a tie up there.
That was close.
That'll be his first, but it's 1-and-1 time for the Huskies. So it'll be Hamilton to shoot. They like him at the line. He's 87%. Well, just about any of the UConn shooters, maybe with the exception of Purvis, as far as the regulars, he's only in the 60s, but everybody else is high 70s or 80s. They make their free throws. So Hamilton, the sophomore from LA, with another one on the way. We talked about the 55 minutes he played in the 4 overtime game. Tip your cap to Troy Copain of Cincinnati, who played 56 minutes in this game.
Well, what a performance. 37 by Copain. That's going to be a tough out, Cincinnati. They flat guard you.
Oh boy. You know they're in. And they should be. This UConn team, they should be. And we think Temple too.
I'm glad we're not the only ones. You know, the guys were talking this morning, Jay, Seth, and Jay Billis, and they all think that Temple is in as well.
You got to wonder, though, if Memphis wins this game, if they have the automatic bid, does that knock one of those teams out? Hamilton curls in, but can't get it to go. 26-13, long lead off Burrell and out of play. That's 4 turnovers.
That hurts. I mean, this is something that you can't have. You're playing to a deficit. UConn has doubled you up. You had numbers. You had multiple numbers ahead of the field.
Burrell started with a 3. Lawson scored the next 10 points, and nobody else has scored for Memphis. And a whistle in the lane. That's going to be an offensive foul. UConn has already had 8 different players into the scoring column.
Oh, they get Sterling Gibbs for an offensive foul. You do not see that usually on a rub screen. It's usually the defender pulling the jersey, pulling the shorts.
UConn with 9. Martin trying to spin on Gibbs. There's Crawford. Approaching 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Goodwin to his left and somehow got around his man for 2.
I would assume that they would try to work that matchup, and I know UConn was in his zone, but Enoch got matched up individually against Goodwin. That's going to be a big challenge for him.
Adams gave up the dribble, back for Facey. There's Gibbs with it. 35 minutes against Temple. He turned it over 1 time. He catches, fires, and can't drain the 3-pointer. And now look at Lawson leading the break. And gave it up as it's knocked out of play. They'll keep it on this end. A near turnover. He went 1-on-4. Usually turns out just like it did. 26-15, UConn. It's also in the studio. I'm glad we found something for Jay Bill to do for a change. Bench points now. UConn with 11 of those over Memphis.
Well, and that's the absolute key. Aside from the transition points, remember what we said at the start of the telecast, that Memphis, amongst major conference teams, leads the country in transition opportunities, over 20 points per game. our stats and information people have the advantage to UConn in that area, 10-4 to start this game. The official stat sheet, 6-zip in favor of UConn.
Joey Brackett's latest. Memphis has to have the automatic bid to go to the NCAA tournament. That would knock out St. Mary's. And UConn is in the field, win or lose here in this American Conference Championship. And Memphis just 5 of 23 shooting the basketball. Shot clock down to 7. Now down to 5. Burrell long distance. And another ugly one for the Tigers, and that was not a pretty possession.
Yeah, their defense has just been rock solid. How about Sterling Gibbs on the initial part of that possession, digging down to give some assistance on Dedrick Lawson, knocking it loose and forcing that shot clock to dwindle.
Adams directing traffic. Here's Gibbs, shot clock at 7. Hamilton wants to operate. Back for Adams in the 3. Rebound coming into the corner. Nice save by Crawford. Just nothing fluid about the Tigers' attack so far.
No, and give credit to UConn because they're sending multiple people back, getting balanced in defensive transition and taking away Memphis' strength. They're relying on this guy to make a lot of individual plays.
Can't make that one. Loose in the lane and scooped up by the Huskies. And a turnover. Let's see. An official timeout.
Yeah, I think they're going to warn maybe just Daniel Hamilton or he and Burrell. Don't know if they got in a little bit of conversation, which we saw an awful lot of yesterday.
Quick whistle there. The officials, Joe DeRosa, Michael Stevens, and Ray Natili. Let's see what they're going to look at. Look at Burrell here. Tangling up with Hamilton.
Yeah, they're going to take a look, and I think wisely so. And it'll be interesting. Does it? Whoa! From that angle, it looks a little different, doesn't it?
It did. So this is the reason we have an official review as they go to the monitor. And what might come of this? And we have a flagrant foul.
Remember in yesterday's game, the semifinals, there was an awful lot of conversation in the Memphis-Tulane game to the point where the officials had to step in, call it a little closer.
You know, even though the game was not close for long stretches, it got chippy.
Yeah.
This is a championship game, and the whole season is on the line for Memphis. And so now they'll get together again, see if there's punishment to be metered out.
I would think it might be more of a conversation, but it'd be very interesting to see the decision. And sometimes you have to look a little bit further back. Was there something that preceded Burrell and Hamilton getting tangled?
Lawson going down, and now the loose ball in the lane.
That back angle makes it look like maybe they might adjudicate it with something, but it's close.
So hopeful to get one of the gentlemen to come on over and let us know what they've determined. But of course, you've got to let the coaches know if they're going to come up with anything here. Josh Pastner there at the bottom of your screen, looking on with great interest.
Was it the Memphis game where we had that dead? Yeah, it was the dead ball contact technical.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ray Natili's going to explain this to Kevin Ollie.
Here comes Mike Stevens.
And Mike Stevens will let us know. So I think there will be a flagrant foul here.
Flagrant one on Burrell.
On Burrell.
So they did not like the extracurricular.
So they hit the senior for Memphis. And Hamilton will be at the line. And a lot of iron, but he drops it in.
You wonder if he's a little bit frustrated. Made his first 3 buckets, really got his team off to a decent start, and then has missed the next 8.
And Hamilton makes them pay to open up a 28-15 lead. And of course, They will also have the ball. That is 3 fouls now on Burrell, and a key man.
You know, they've talked often about Burrell over the course of his career. He's always been an emotional kid. His competitive spirit is what has driven him to this ability. So now you got to try to get yourself composed. See how badly he wants to compete for a championship. Got to keep your emotions in check.
Purvis trying to drive it. Loose again. Adams, the feed here. And banked in. Beautiful shot by Enoch, the freshman. He's getting some minutes here.
He has comported himself well. Largest lead for UConn, and they've gotten terrific minutes. Brian had the 2 fouls. You had to come with him on a couple of occasions. And Enoch has had a couple of big moments.
Martin with a catch. Sam Kraft into the game. He's a junior. Lawson fouled with 1:45 before the break. And tomorrow is Selection Monday, presented by Capital One, the exclusive live announcement of the 64-team NCAA Women's Championship field. That's at 7 Eastern on ESPN, with a bonus hour at 8 o'clock on ESPNU. Kevin Nagandi, Kara Lawson, and Rebecca Lobo coming your way. Everybody's All-American, Rebecca Lobo.
Number 50. Kara Lawson had herself a pretty good career as well. As good a basketball mind as our company.
I can't speak for Kevin Nagandi, but I really like it. As far as basketball, Lawson to the line. Really the only guy doing anything yet for Memphis.
Yeah. He's got 10 of their 15, making 11 of their 16, and he's having to make a lot of terrific individual plays. Think about a couple of things he's done in transition here.
Memphis guards haven't really shown up yet, have they? 3 points, 6 fouls. Hamilton, lots of attention on him. The following in the lane, pretty shot.
Folks, that is the emergence of a star over the last several days.
Crawford tied up, but a foul there. Adams there reaching in.
Well, he shares a hometown with his head coach, Los Angeles, Daniel Hamilton. So much to like about the game. He talks often about getting to the in-between game. Kevin Ollie said, don't be seduced by the 3. Get where you are at your best, and that's in between.
Markel Crawford will be at the line. Sophomore and a Memphis product. And a very good rebounder. 10 points, 10 rebounds against Tulane yesterday in the semifinal.
The one thing I'd say about Enoch here is you can tell he hasn't been a consistent part of the rotation. He's been so anxious defensively that he immediately closes on the guy with the ball. It's put himself at a deficit and put Memphis at the free throw line.
Well, the Huskies feeling pretty darn good about themselves. A 32-17 lead in the American Championship. The shot clock goes to 5. Number 5 back out for Purvis. Has to get a shot in the air. That did not touch the rim, so a shot clock violation.
Want to close this half strong if you're UConn. You want to get a stop here and continue your momentum. You know he's going to be talking and coaching. Never lacks for energy.
Kraft has it. High post here for Goodwin. Wants to get a little bit closer to that basket and loves to operate for 2.
Memphis grinding. They have not had their best game or their best stuff. As you said, their guards have scuffled, but that's their strength, playing through the post.
Only 4 for Goodwin. He averages 15 points a game. They need a much bigger half come the second half from him. And as you said, from the guards, too. Well, the crowd likes it. Certainly a pro UConn crowd here in Orlando. Big time. Final seconds. 3 to get off a shot. Purvis way downtown. So they didn't end it the way they started the game, but they do have a 32-19 lead.
You gotta love how Memphis competed down the stretch, trying to stay in it with their defense.
The guard comparison, no comparison. UConn with a 23-4 advantage there in guard play. And look at the assists, 6-1. 32-19. Big lead for UConn at the break. As we send it to Reese, Seth, Jay, and Jay Billis for the Volkswagen halftime report. Gentlemen. This is the American Championship on ESPN from Orlando. We welcome you back for the second half. UConn clicking 32-19 at the break. Dave O'Brien alongside Doris Burke. The championship waiting. A trophy to be presented. After 20 more minutes of basketball, the Huskies looking like a championship team, especially in the paint.
Boy, if you're Kevin Ollie, you're thrilled with the kind of defensive effort you have put together over the last 3 days. And you can look at different areas, but I think the return of Amita Brima has changed the equation. Shaq Goodwin is a first-team American Conference performer. He looks silly there trying to take on the size. In this instance, he's got to get it high enough over Brima, so he back rims it. And then Lawson being contested in individual defense, and they finish it with a possession and a backboard. And I'll tell you, from all different spots, I agree with the guys back in the studio. As well as this team is playing, I'm not sure I want any part of the Huskies.
Maybe the best basketball of the season. In the paint, they have dominated. And on the scoreboard, they have dominated. The Temple Owls are big fans of the UConn Huskies right now.
I'd say most of the conferences except Memphis. Good play.
What a start as Miller slams it down over the top of everybody.
What kind of life in their legs does Memphis has for the competition here now?
Again, Memphis has to recover and win this game if they're going to go to the NCAA tournament with the automatic bid. That's their only hope right now. UConn is in, says Joey Brackett's, win or lose, which makes a lot of sense. They've had a marvelous tournament. Burrell off the Goodwin and a slam.
Force that help defensive step up. Inevitably, you expose yourself to that dump off.
This will be the last automatic bid to the NCAA tournament handed out today before the selection. Just getting started here in the second half. UConn with the ball. They have 23 wins. Memphis has 19. Purvis swung here for Miller and knocks it in right in front of the horn. Big three.
He hasn't made many of those. Came into today with 8 on the year.
So back up to a 16-point lead. It equals their biggest lead today. And a whistle off the ball with 18:34 to go here in the second half. John Miller, the 6'7" grad.
Yep, just nice little delivery by Sterling Gibbs. Never used his second hand to make that pass. Uses the left. Nice.
Philip Nolan just picked up his third foul for UConn.
Sean Miller 4 for 4 from the floor, and he's guarding the most difficult check. And here he's battling Dedrick Lawson on the post.
Look at all the attention, and you have to foul him to stop him. Unfortunately for the Tigers, he's a one-man show.
Yeah, he can overpower you. You can see right there as Nolan picks up his fourth. I don't necessarily think you lose much here. In fact, I think you gain quite a bit with Brima coming in.
Amita Brima, the 7-footer, and a shot blocker extraordinaire. Think of all those years where UConn was the best shot blocking team in the country.
Oh, think about all the centers that made such extraordinary progress under the tutelage of Jim Calhoun and his staffs over the years. And guys like Josh, there's a lot of money that have been made at the center spot.
Burrell off the window, a nifty move there. They did a lot more of that, but a foul too, so he'll be at the line.
And this is Burrell, just a very good competitor. Puts his head down, tries to get to the straight line drive. It's simple pick and roll basketball. You get the exchange. Brima, you go into his chest, take him on. That's a third foul on Brima. That's why you sat him for so long with the 2 in the first. Kevin making no move here to get him out.
Rim won't hold it. Burrell, an 81% foul shooter. Lawson scored 11 of the 19 in the first half from Memphis. He was all they had pretty much. They need to locate somebody else in blue who can put it through. Purvis outside the 3. Miller over Goodwin. Not there for him, and another rebound for Lawson. He comes in averaging 9 a game. Downstairs, Brima went for the block, tried for the swat there, and a whistle right there on the baseline as Joe DeRosa has a foul. That's going to be number 4 on Brima.
Wow, it's a big, big moment here.
Boy, that has them howling on the UConn side. 4 fouls, and he picked them up quick.
And that gets Enoch off the bench, who did a terrific job, I thought, in limited minutes in the first half. He's got to make sure he's sound defensively, Enoch, without fouling.
So a 7-footer goes off, and a 6'11" freshman comes on. Brima's a junior and a ton of experience. Burrell in the corner. Crawford. Yes, a 3. And life here finally for the Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, and listen, this is a team that plays really quickly. Kevin's going to use a timeout because he feels some momentum shifting.
So 17-14 to go. And Memphis starting to creep into this thing.
They play at one of the fastest paces. They did not shoot it well in the first, getting a little bit closer with that Crawford jumper. UConn has both Nolan and Brima with 4 fouls, so their top 2 options at the 5 spot. I didn't love this call. This is Brima who comes over in assistance, okay? If you're going to call a foul, you could have called it there. I mean, that's incidental contact to me. It had nothing to do with the play. I just thought it was a bad call, particularly in a championship game. It didn't have anything to do with the play.
Let's see if it has a profound effect as he goes to the bench with 4 personals. Gibbs with a catch and a 3, around and out. And here's Lawson in the open floor. He can really handle that ball at 6'9". Not a great pass, and out it goes. So back over to the Huskies.
It's funny, in the first half when Enoch came in, their defense was on that side. So Kevin Ollie on every possession was talking Enoch through the possessions. He doesn't have that advantage here. Enoch can't be an anxious defender. He's just got to make people score over them.
A rookie anxious in a championship game?
Yeah.
This is the title match of the American Conference here from Orlando. It's the 3rd year in a row that UConn has been in the championship. They lost the first 2. They're getting tired of that. Shot clock down to 8. Gibbs with a bump, no whistle, off the fake, back for Purvis. Here's Miller, can't stick the 3, and the tip will come right to Memphis. Lawson wants to drive it, sealed on the baseline. Great pass. Goodwin made the adjustment, but could not finish it. Now Lawson is an outstanding passer for a man of his size.
He came in with 83 assists. I told you, he's a willing and capable guy.
Gibbs again straight on, got a great look, but it's in and out. I'm not sure you will get a better opportunity from 3-point land. Unable to finish. He makes 39%. There's a blocking foul. With 15:49 remaining, that'll go against Miller. That's going to be his 3rd. Hey, those fouls are starting to pile up now for the Huskies. Winner of this game will walk away with that. Joey Brackett's right now for the American Conference has UConn, Cincinnati, and Temple in. But of course, if Memphis rallies and have been doing that the last several minutes, they will grab the automatic bid. That could put Temple in serious jeopardy.
But Johnny Lenardi, I believe, has, if Memphis were to win, St. Mary's getting knocked out.
Could be. We'll see what influence it has over this particular matchup, as Goodwin has it at the foul line. The bounce for Goodwin to the baseline. And a whistle there with 15:33 left.
Listen, that's 16 fouls. We've got 15 and a half to play. So Josh Pasker's team is going to shoot an awful lot of free throws before this thing is all said and done. Right now, they're just 6 for 11 from the foul line.
That's 4 on Enoch. So yet another who has to go to the bench.
You go super small here. Facey, I guess, would be your 5. Long way to go.
14 fouls among the bigs, and that one's going to go down.
Boy, you better make that shot. With all that foul trouble, Shaq Goodwin and Dedrick Lawson on the line, you better make that shot.
Tarrant drilling that one. First time they're in single digits since it was 20-11. Adams looking to answer. Tough angle. Facey with the rebound. He went to the deck with it. and knocked away from him with 15:10 to go.
They've relied so heavily on Adams and Hamilton. Can they continue to deliver? A nice job to stay spaced and make the jumper by Tarrant.
This is an 8-0 run for the Tigers. And man, did they need it. Hamilton. Calhoun back to Hamilton. Open for three. Boy, another good look, but it wouldn't drop. Swing into the corner, Burrell. Loose and a whistle, and a foul will go against Goodwin.
There's a sarcastic reaction from the Connecticut faithful.
That's his second. And Shaq Goodwin, the senior, not very happy.
Yeah, I mean, just silly. You know, why are you grabbing? They're in trouble. He's just holding on to Facey. Could have gone either way, I guess. They're holding on. They're doing a little dance together. Wow.
Just thrown away. And the errant toss by Adams. And it's 6 turnovers for the Huskies.
This has not been pretty.
UConn had a very strong first half. That cannot be said of their second half, at least not yet.
When they come out of their man-to-man and go zone.
Swing for Lawson. A lot of traffic, but he made it anyway.
This guy's so good. He is so talented. He makes difficult things look easy.
And now we've got a ball game here. 37-31 UConn. Facey on the spin, gets himself some room, can't bank it in. He did everything right except finish the shot. Lawson, the go-to man. Blocked by Facey. Man, did he get up there. Lawson's out of the play, but it's thrown away right to Tarrant. Burrell knocked away. Goodwin with it. Great interior D. Another misfire. It's loose again. Out of play it goes. Off the shoulder, and it'll go the other way. It'll be UConn ball.
But you know what? That was a poor decision by the guard. You had the weak side, Dedrick Lawson, standing there. That's a bad decision by Memphis. You gave up what would have been an easy opportunity there.
Look at the drought here. The last 8 possessions, 7 misses, and a turnover for the Huskies. Calhoun shredding the D and draws the foul. Very quick step to get inside.
Let's watch Dedrick Lawson's play. You know, pros, if you're going to play at the next level, you got to be comfortable playing in traffic. Watch what happens on the spin move from Dedrick Lawson. Look at all the bodies he's playing around. Has to play through all the white jerseys, makes that bucket. Nicely done by Dedrick.
Crawford with the foul to put Calhoun at the line. Missing, and a rare miss for him. He's 84%. Senior from Brooklyn. Part of the mature look of this UConn squad.
You know, these have been the moments all tournament where Daniel Hamilton and Jalen Adams have had the answer. Think about how many times Temple closed that game yesterday and Hamilton delivered a bucket or an assist.
Long distance, Tarrant fouled in the act. Adams paid the price. He got hit in the face, but he commits the foul. That's his second, and this will be 3 shots for Tarrant.
And Kevin Ollie, I don't think he wants to look at this moment. They're going to get Sterling Gibbs up and off the bench.
Tarrant out of Birmingham, Alabama. Transfer from the University of Alabama. And a good foul shooter. Adams a little bit shaken up.
Yeah. You're just closing on a shooter as poorly as they've shot. I know Tarrant's pretty good. You got to be under control. Get a little pop in the face for your trouble too.
He took the worst of it. Even though the foul was on him, and Tarrant really drilled him at the line. He makes all three, and Adams can't see straight. And UConn is suddenly leading by only 4 points in this championship game. This has allowed the Memphis faithful, and they are severely outnumbered, but allowing them to make some noise for the first time today. Gibbs wants to get closer on the drive. And a foul as Miller gets hit. 38-34. Hey, tonight after bracketology, it's the premiere of the latest 30 for 30 film, Fantastic Lies. It's the story of the Duke lacrosse team. Fantastic Lies tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN.
The Rush to Injustice, a terrific book on the same topic. That is going to be fantastic, I have no doubt.
Rashawn Burrell just picked up his 4th foul. That's a key senior. A lot of guys getting deep in foul trouble in this title match. Miller makes 78%. Smooth there. So back up to a 6-point lead for the Huskies.
I wonder if underneath the 12, do you start alternating either Nolan or Brima and just play them maybe in 4-minute stretches each?
Tarrant way downtown again, but short this time. Memphis likes to shoot quickly.
It's something that Doc Rivers would call hero ball. That shot's too early from too deep without any passes.
And feeling like he had the hot hand. Not so there. 12 minutes left here in Orlando. Hamilton. Shot clock at 5. Hamilton took a look. Got to get one in the air here. Spins and fires, and that missed ugly. So Memphis with a big stop there. On the attack, Martin, yes, that's a quick step.
Remember, that young man was starting earlier in the year. No more for his defense than his offense, but that's where they want to play. They want to get out, quick hit you in transition.
Doris, those are the first bench points for Memphis in this game. Calhoun lost the handle, draws the foul on the reach-in.
You've had to zig and zag a little bit on both sides. Jeremiah Martin comes in because Burrell gets 4 fouls, and the young man makes a very quick play. Recognizing only one defender to beat, attack Sean Miller, gets his team just that much closer. It is a championship. Nice that it's close.
Well, Memphis has closed the gap here in the championship game for UConn. This is their 3rd consecutive American Conference title game. They've lost the first 2, 2014 to Louisville by 10 points. And then last year, a tussle with SMU. That was in Hartford, 62-54. There have only been 3 of these championship games in this conference.
So trying to flip the script this year. Their last conference title, 2011, in the Big East Conference. And how about the job Memphis has done flipping the script in the second half? They're holding UConn to 2 for 10 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3. And that has been the strength when Josh's team has played well. When they got out of the gates 12-4, 3-1 in conference, it was on the strength of their D.
Gibbs not afraid to shoot it from way off that line, and he buries that 3.
They run that elevator play, and they get him into the slot, which he loves.
Cropper trying to answer, around and out. Fight for the rebound, and the Huskies come away with it, leading 43-36. And for Memphis, let's do or die. They want to go to the NCAA tournament so badly. They have to win this game. They have to win these last 11 minutes, or they're not going to the NCAA tournament. They have to have the automatic bid to get in. Here's Miller. Into the lane with a hook and gets hit. He draws the foul. Back to Gibbs moments ago.
Yeah, let's just watch the play. And Kevin is terrific at dialing up certain matchups, and they just run. See, they close the elevator doors. Tarrant can't get through Sean Miller's screen, and Gibbs likes the 2 slot areas when he shoots from range. He really likes either side, little further than elbow extended.
Sam Kraft is coming on. Goodwin just picked up his 4th foul, Doris. So now some foul difficulties for the Tigers as well. The senior has to go to the bench. We already talked about Burrell's foul issues. It's now a big concern for both teams. Lawson wants to maneuver in tight. No. UConn again crashing the glass.
Only a couple of stops in a row by Connecticut. And no sign of Brima or Nolan.
UConn fans on their feet as they've expanded the lead. It had gotten down to 4. Miller bumped and the foul again.
See, this is Kevin Ollie at his best. He just hunts individual matchups, right? So he runs some false action at sort of that wheel where his guards are coming through. But he does not think Dietrich Lawson can check Sean Miller. So twice he's played through the post. Once he got a foul on Shaq, now one on Dietrich.
2 on Lawson. Back for Purvis. A determined drive off the window and a foul inside the lane against Memphis. We're talking about possible fatigue here as Lawson picks up his 3rd foul. And the minutes among the top 3 for UConn, remembering they played a 4 overtime classic in this one against Cincinnati.
I don't think it's bothering them. Not at this moment.
I would think not. I would bet it's full throttle adrenaline at this point.
No question about it.
The magic of being 20.
Yes. How quickly your body can recover at that age.
47-36. Mini 7-0 run here for the Huskies. Tarrant, a wild drive in the lane, and that is a foul and going to be an offensive foul. Bit of a delayed call there, but an offensive. That's going to be 4 on Tarrant. That brings a giant grin, but he's not a happy guy.
Let's take a quick look at it. I mean, he's standing there waiting for him.
Not much doubt.
No. It's interesting. Damon Stoudemire, who's an assistant for Josh Pastner, and Kevin Ollie, their friendship goes back a long, long way. And Damon knows how Kevin likes to coach, what kinds of things he's looking for.
Both teams facing foul trouble. Both sides have 3 guys saddled with 4. Calhoun lives. Yes! Big shot for Omar Calhoun, the senior, to make it 50-36.
He keeps asking people to call him. They're going to get a busy signal. Meanwhile, the Huskies are getting busy, getting a little bit of separation again without their bigs.
Well, the senior from Brooklyn, Calhoun, setting those feet quickly and an even quicker release. And it's UConn by 14. That's a 10-0 run in answer to the 13-1 run.
Okay, don't you love it when another teammate celebrates that 3 when he's not the guy making it? I love that.
Crawford there on the baseline to knock in 2.
And a moment of toughness, right, by the UConn Huskies. Kevin Ollie said, you know, people have questioned our toughness all year. You can't do it now. Well, their legs were losing a little bit of the steadiness. Can they keep making plays?
Hamilton to set it up. 9 to get off a shot. Here's Gibbs. Yes, a 3. Boy, they made a couple of giant shots. And now deep trouble for the Tigers. And their hopes of an NCAA tournament bid are starting to fade here. Still 8 minutes to go, but UConn suddenly on fire.
And you can see the kind of attention Daniel Hamilton draws. On that last play, you're shrinking the gaps on him, but you left Sterling Gibbs in the deep corner.
Hamilton right by Goodwin to lay it in. What a tremendous move with that left hand.
Yeah, just great isolation. You have to go at Shaq. He's got 4. There's nothing he can do from 16 feet.
Tarrant with a quick answer. And a timeout, Josh Pastner.
Sterling Gibbs, one of 2 graduate transfers helping the Connecticut Huskies. He gets benefited on the attention given to Daniel Hamilton. Deep corner 3. Oh, that's good. Bench, Mita Brima. Pretty good cheerleader over there.
UConn and Gino Auriemma from number 11.
There's some pretty good teams out there. Baylor quietly doing their job in Waco, Texas. The Irish in South Bend.
The UConn men with a 15-point lead. Started out cold, but they have heated up, especially from distance. Here's Gibbs again, trying to keep it going, but not there. Facey with a rebound.
That drew a change in defensive assignment there from Memphis. Now they come out of the zone again.
Have to wonder, has Memphis missed its window? They got to within 4 points. And again, this is an automatic bid, the last of the day, the last for the NCAA tournament to be handed out here this afternoon. Shot clock at 4. Calhoun looking for help. He's going to have to get it in the air. Blocked from behind. A foul on Lawson. He thought he had it clean.
So did I. I really did. First look at that, I really thought he blocked that cleanly. Let's see, does he get him with the body? Oh, no, that's a clean block. That's one, I think if you're Ray, you want it back.
So Calhoun to the line, fortunate to be there, 84%. That's 4 on Lawson. That's Diedrich Lawson with a personal. Back up to 16 points. And for just a couple of moments, Memphis was right there within striking distance.
Yep. It's still manageable. It would help if you could knock a couple threes down.
Well, Terrence capable. He was number 20 for Memphis. Has it now. Lawson on the entry and a quick whistle. Stops the clock with 6:37 to go. Facey will pick up his first. Fouls have been a big part of the story today, and it'll be 1-and-1 time for the talented freshman Diedrich Lawson. Memphis scoring and rebounding leader, 16 double-doubles for the rookie. There is another level for him.
I don't think there's any question. So how about this? Remember how early UConn put this team into the bonus. This is their first 1-and-1 opportunity. So, you know, you don't often talk about teams that are able to guard without fouling, but it's so critical to your success. The best defensive teams give up one contested shot, finish it with a defensive rebound, and don't foul. Think about how long UConn had to guard without giving up that one-on-one situation.
Purvis gives up the dribble. Well, certainly for us, following the American Conference and following this tournament so closely, there are 3 teams that passed the eye test to go to the NCAA tournament.
No
UConn,
question.
Temple, and Cincinnati. All very deserving of a bid. Hamilton got tied up, but still banked it in.
Wow, how about that strength? So wiry, strong.
Terrence slithering in. Air ball for him. Tipped out of play by Lawson. UConn will have it.
That saved a layup, that little play by Lawson. Here's an update from Joey Brackets on what you were just talking about. UConn last 4 buys. If they finish this, does that change? Where do they go? Well, 11 games without Brima.
Right. Yeah, what a difference that makes when you have a 7-footer who swats shots like that in a timeout. 5:48 to go, and yet UConn with 23 wins, and some will tell you they're playing their best basketball right now.
I agree.
Let's take our look right now at the move of the game, which is brought to you by Degree Motion Sense.
Well, the one-handed pass from Gibbs to Sean Miller for the big 3. This was the play they ran out of a break. That elevator closes. Gibbs delivers a big shot. Hamilton delivers to him. He makes another corner 3.
And those felt like backbreakers because it was just at a point where Memphis had stuck both feet into the game for the first time really since the opening minutes.
Yeah, no doubt.
As you point out, still 5:48 on that clock. Can they make a run like the 13-1 run they made to get in it? And for Memphis, an automatic bid is their chance. Joy Brackett says that would knock St. Mary's out. Miller along the baseline for Gibbs. Here comes another one. That three not there. On the run, Crawford has to chase it into the corner. Tarrant wants the three. And got the roll. Shooter's roll and a friendly rim. He has 11. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in Orlando, the championship game of the American Conference.
They're going to stick with this little half-court trap. UConn's going to have to stay spaced and drive some gaps the later the clock gets.
Jalen Adams is about to check back in. Remember, he took a shot when he committed a foul on a three-pointer. Purvis hitting that three-pointer to open it up, 62-45. Where the threes have been a huge factor here in the second half for the Huskies.
Think about it. They started the half 2 for 10.
Baseline move, Lawson for 2 more.
Good decision by Hamilton. He got beat. He didn't compound the mistake.
In this half, UConn has made 5 out of 11 threes after being very chilly outside that arc in the first 20. Dramatic change of pace for them, 62-47. Here comes another one from Calhoun. Memphis starting to run out of time and opportunity. Lawson, the spin to the lane. Oh my! Oh my!
This is one of those eye-popping plays I talked about. This kid is so smooth, so easy, so good. How about the handle at that size? The feel to navigate traffic.
But today they've needed another one of him.
Yeah, exactly.
19 points. A little bump from Hamilton. Lawson with the rebound and continues to pile up numbers. Crawford wide open for 3 and drains it.
Wow, what is UConn doing? I mean, this game is far from over. Nobody bothered to check him from distance. That's the one spot you got to cover up.
He could not have been more wide open.
Clean on Kevin Ollie's face. I cannot believe the lack of attention.
So a 7-0 run. Purvis with a wild pass. Not sure what that was all about. Burrell down the lane and will lay it in.
I don't know if you can wait for a dead ball to get this timeout. Kevin's going to kneel down. How many timeouts I got? He just asked Glenn Miller that question.
Yep.
He wants to know before he uses one. He's got 1 left. Well, you're not going to use that here. You got to just get your guys to play.
8-point game. So Memphis showing tremendous life. Calhoun's jumper, yes.
Ooh, that left corner's been good to them.
They continue to call long distance. Tarrant heaves it. Hamilton with a rebound. 65-54. Nifty feed. Purvis, he'll finish it on the run.
I'd rather than be aggressive. Don't try to milk the clock, and now Josh uses one.
How about the ebbs and flows of this one in the second half? It was 8 points just a few minutes ago. Now 67-54 in the championship. Will be left to be punched. Joe Lunardi says in the American, UConn, Cincinnati, and Temple are in right now.
I would agree with that. You got 2:21 on the clock, 13-point edge. Remember, in the final 3:37 in the game against Temple, UConn gave up that lead. They've been much better finishing games. Can they close for a championship here? That's going to be a foul.
Yep, and no basket. Foul before that. Trying to contain Goodwin. The foul will go on Miller, but Memphis starters really look tired, and they have not gotten much from their bench today. We talked about their depth, and usually that works to their advantage, but not today. Only 2 points from their bench. And that man has been on the bench all day. Avery Woodson averaging 10 points a game. Their #1 3-point shooter injured his shoulder in this tournament 2 games ago and unable to go today.
Make no mistake, that is a huge miss. Had 77 made threes, 43%.
Off the front of the iron by Goodwin. They need all the help they can get right now. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. And a foul deep in the backcourt to stop Gibbs. Coming up right after us We'll have in-depth coverage of the NCAA men's field of 68. Reese, Jay Will, Jay Bill, and Seth anchor the coverage. Dickie V and Joe Lenardi on hand as well. And at 7, bracketology presented by Staples.
Somebody will be heartbroken tonight. I don't think there's a process that can make everybody happy. Typically 2 or 3 teams with a case to be made. But we were having a conversation yesterday about perhaps changing the format, as Jay Bill has suggested, having the at-larges selected prior to conference tournaments. I like the drama.
Amita Brima back on with those 4 fouls for UConn. And a shot blocker returns here with about 2 minutes to go. 69-54, the Huskies closing in on a championship. Been said before, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Has a familiar ring in Storrs, Connecticut. And another whistle with 1:55 left.
It's a proud program. 4 NCAA championships since 1999. And like the women's program, with a chance here to sweep the American, there are expectations for Kevin Ollie's program, and there are expectations for Gino Auriemma's program. And that expectation is you win here.
All about championships. Of course, Kevin Ollie has one. So our congratulations to Michigan State. The Spartans have won the Big Ten tournament. And that means there is only one more automatic bid. We have 1:55 left in the championship of the American. And the winner of this gets it. And it's looking like it's going to be UConn at this point.
Well, what a run this would be. 4 overtimes against a Cincinnati team that is as good on the defensive end as any team in the country. You beat the conference regular season champion Temple and the proud program of Memphis in order to get there.
Burrow looking to operate in the lane, swinging inside, but no, it won't drop. Hamilton with the rebound. And Daniel Hamilton with another big day. A huge impact in this one. He has a double-double again. Not only 11 points and 11 rebounds, but 6 assists. Left open all day to shoot the 3, but can't hit that. So coming up on the last minute, Memphis made quite a run, a 13-1 run to cut it to 4. Burrell off the front of the iron, rebound up and in by Lawson.
Josh trying to get everybody up with pressure and foul him. UConn will try to stay spaced to prohibit that. There's the foul.
With 52 seconds to go. But a 15-point lead. And that certainly looks like the day is done. Tarrant is fouled out with 11 points. And it'll be Hamilton to the line. And what about the immediate future of Josh Pastner? Some talk all season long about a hot seat there in Memphis. We shall see. They did get to the championship game of this tournament. 19 wins right now, but they went 8-10 in the American. We've got some segment there in Memphis, a very demanding fan base. They're used to winning. It's very dissatisfied with these last couple of years.
You see the emotion of Kevin Ollie, thankful to his guy Gibbs. And the celebration starts, but you're right. I mean, Josh has over the last 2 years dealt with such an amazing amount of negativity. His guys are heartbroken today. Shaq Goodwin will finish up in the top 10 in points and rebounds.
Yep, the senior heading to the bench. So Memphis will go a second consecutive year without going to the NCAA tournament. And UConn is headed for the NCAA tournament, now with a 72-56 lead. Huge smile there for the coach and Daniel Hamilton, who played like a champion all throughout this tournament.
Well, it just grew up before your very eyes. Career high 32 in the 4 overtimes against Cincinnati. Every big play seemed to come down to him or Jalen Adams.
And guess what? Jalen Adams hitting that 62-footer at the end of the 3rd overtime. That's a shot that will live forever. It'll take its place among many such shots in UConn lore. Final seconds here from Orlando. And this is the last automatic bid about to be handed to the UConn Huskies going to the NCAA tournament. They're about to win the American after losing in a championship game twice. Nothing but smiles and celebration for Kevin Ollie. Randall fires up there, and that doesn't touch anything. And UConn will win this one resoundingly in the end. The UConn Huskies are champions of the American Conference Tournament, and they are going to the NCAA tournament. A terrific win. It got close there. Got to within 4 points. But then UConn, and you would expect they have a built-in excuse if they wanted. They had to be exhausted after the 4 overtime marathon. But man, they were anything but in the end. And the trophy hoisted up by Hamilton and the Huskies. A marvelous run through this tournament. UConn now 24-10. You can tell what a disappointing loss that is for the Tigers. They needed it to go to the tournament. That was foremost on their minds ever since advancing to the championship last night, but they fall short here and are now 19-15 on the season. Huskies hugging the trophy, and the championship t-shirt's about to be pulled on. Let's go to Doris with Kevin Ollie.
A very happy Kevin Ollie, busy acknowledging all the UConn contingent in the house. You know, coaches want their teams to be playing at the best time of the year. Yeah. What has your team figured out over these several days?
They've just been playing with heart. They've been playing for each other, and that's what you have to do. Gino sent me a nice text. He was like, if you worried about your next partner, your next teammate, you too busy. You can't even worry about yourself, and that's what they've been doing. And Coach Calhoun gave me some great words, talk about effort and attitude, and that's what you can control. And the last thing, I just want to give honor to God because we was in some valleys this season, some highs and some lows, and God really got us through those valleys. And my team is just a wonderful team. They came together at the right moment, and we just want to give all the glory to them.
You had a couple of guys make big shots, Calhoun, Gibbs, but Daniel Hamilton grew up. What have you seen from that young man?
Just maturity, just steadiness, being calm, knowing exactly what he want to do on the offense and defensive end. And, he's just controlling and he's being a great leader. And that's what we want from Daniel. And he got a great career ahead of him, and we got a lot of playing to do.
There's expectations coaching this basketball program because of what Coach Calhoun established. The expectation of winning, how much does that help you?
Oh, it pushes me, but also the doubters push me too, even more. So we love winning, but it's a lot of people that doubted our team, and that propelled us to this level and for this destiny. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna celebrate, but we got some other business we got to take care of.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you, Doris. Thank you.
Isn't that a nice thought right there? More business to take care of. You can say that, Kevin Ollie. Now, UConn with 5 players in double figures. Daniel Hamilton was the most outstanding player of the tournament, and highly deserved. Coming up next at SportsCenter, and for all our coverage of the unveiling of the NCAA men's field of 68. For my partner Doris Burke, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks for joining us in Orlando. The Huskies are the champs in the American Conference as we send it back to the studio and our man, Scott Van Pelt.